Greetings YouTube, Fuzzfinger here, welcome back to Final Fantasy IV. The plan today is to continue making our way through the game's final story dungeon, which is the Lunar Subterrane. So do come and join me. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button, and let's crack on. This is exactly where we finished off in the last episode, which was finishing mapping out the area to B3. And that's when I told you to teleport out, and then we'll make our way back there today, which is exactly what I've gone ahead and done here. So we're going to continue from this point, and we're going to head down to B4 for the first time. So we're expanding into new areas now, which is certainly interesting. We're going to start by making sure we've mapped out this initial area here before we head over to the east. So you should be seeing in your game, if you've been following along with me, that the levels of your party members are now getting into the 70s. And that's important because as we start to make our way through to the latter portions of the game here, we're going to want them to be in their high 70s, really, in all honesty. Keep mapping as we go here, and as we head over to the east, there should be a treasure chest. So we're just going to keep heading over to the east, because that's where that treasure chest is located. There it is. And that contains some Artemis arrows. Now you should already be using those, quite frankly. Going to Rosa here. So they come from the Moon Maidens. You can either steal them or they come as a drop. So I did mention those in a previous episode. If for whatever reason you don't have them yet, you can equip them now after looting them from this chest. We're now going to have to head back to the path that leads south. At this point, we're going to head over to the left-hand side of the screen. We'll continue to face the tougher enemy encounters on this level here, so just bear that in mind. I'm just going to map out this area here by this door. And with that done, we can basically head into the room here. It's nothing exciting, unfortunately. It's a mapped out area that contains a chest with an elixir inside. But it's still worth it, I guess, isn't it? Or is it? Okay, now we're going to basically map out the whole other side of this map. So it's a little bit annoying how much mapping there is to do in this dungeon, isn't there? And then of course we're just going to head down south since there's nowhere else we can go now. And this is the door we're going to be heading into. Just make sure you've mapped out the whole region next to it first, and then we can go inside. We're still going to be on the same level, but there's a couple of chests we can grab. This is known as the B4 passageway. So there's a White Fang and an X potion we want to grab. Having grabbed both those items, make your way down the other set of stairs and you'll be back out in the main area of this floor here. So we can see there's a chest, but you are going to want to make sure you're healed up beforehand since there's a behemoth that's guarding it. And it's a Stardust Rod, which I'll explain to you in a moment, because it's kind of an interesting item, that is. So first things first is you want to get flipping auto battle off. I hate it when that happens. Let's get some Bahamut action going here. So these guys, as you know, hurt a lot. And they like to counter as well, both summons, magics and physical attacks. So what I'm going to do here is cast Blink and Haste. Blink onto Cecil since he'll be taking most of the damage. And then Haste onto... And we're going to start on Rosa, in fact. Blink should keep the damage on him nice and low. Well, non-existent while it's up there, of course. Just keep an eye on that Blink though, because it does like to wear off from time to time. Such as now, for example. With Cain, you can actually cast Darkness before you cast Jump. Nice bit of extra damage if you do that for you. We'll just pray while Blink's active here. Nice maximum damage from Bahamut there. Once again, we'll get that nice blink back up onto Cecil here. And I guess we can haste up Rydia this time to keep those Bahamuts incoming thick and fast. Doesn't matter anyway, he's down. So it's not the first Bahamut we fought. I mean the first Behemoth even. Right, so this weapon we've just looted is an interesting one, as I mentioned. Because it gives you a nice boost to your intellect, and if you have it as attack, it actually casts Comet. The problem is it has a very long cast time. I think it's about 10 seconds. So, to be honest, I'm not exactly sure it's totally worth it. But you might want to have a play about with it. But I'm not going to bother. But some people do say it's a very superior weapon. And there we have the mapping complete. 3 dry ethers is our reward for that one. And then we're going to head down for the first time now to B5, and we're going to be meeting some new enemy encounters on the way. Ah, 2 blue dragons. Lovely. So just explore this little bit there, and then we're going to start by heading west. And as you can see, it's a nice treasure chest, so we'll go ahead and nab that. For a crystal shield, this time there is another pair of blue dragons. So I recommend when you have 2 of these to immediately use a silver hourglass. And hopefully we've got one left lying around here. Bronze, silver, there we go. And then we'll get the stop on those immediately. And then we can get our friends cured up here. In particular Cecil, who's probably going to die anyway, but you know, what can you do about that? And then Kane needs to cry. And then you can just start laying on the damage, really. And you should be fine. Might have to resurrect Cecil if he does die from the Countdown of Doom here. But we might just finish them off before then. It's unlikely. Maybe if it was one of them we could have done. Looks like Cecil's about to go down now. So we'll just get him resurrected here with the Rise. Does use a lot of MP, unfortunately, a Rise, which is a bit of a problem, but that's about it. Since we only want to cast 1 spell here, you can just throw a Cure onto the other characters. And then we'll just go ahead, I think, and auto battle. Now we should be fine. There goes the first. The silver hourglass is definitely your friend. You can single target stop if you don't have those, using Rydia. But in my opinion, that can cause more trouble because the dragons can get too many attacks off in that time. I'm trying to turn auto battle off at the end of every encounter, so we're not going to be hampered should all the characters start attacking in the next fight. Right, so what was that we looted? Oh, it was the shield, wasn't it? So we can throw that onto Cecil. It's a nice shield for him, actually. Right, after that we're going to make our way into this door here. It's the only door we can actually enter at this point, and we're going to be greeted by some of the original enemies that we've been fighting in this place. So there is a hidden path just over to the east here, which will take us through to the first treasure chest. And this contains a protect ring. Now the protect ring is, I believe, and you can correct me in the comments if I'm mistaken on this, the strongest defensive accessory in the entire game. So it makes sense to throw this onto Cecil, since he's going to be taking most of the attacks and what have you. But the dragon gloves that he was wearing, we can now give those to Cain, since they're stronger than his defensive Genji gloves. And then we're just going to continue over to the east hand side. Use the map so that you can see where you're heading to. This is where the exit to come back in is found, so you can just see on the map there. There's 2 exits in this section. We're going to head into the southernmost exit to begin with. Okay, and we're back here on B5. So we're going to start making our way across here to this treasure chest. And this contains the crystal mail, which is once again guarded by a behemoth, so we're going to fight it in exactly the same way that we did previously. Okay, so that's the behemoth defeated again. Have a couple more levels, which is always good, I reckon, isn't it? And once again, that crystal equipment is going on to Cecil, that crystal mail. So look at that nice defensive attributes that he gets from that. And the dragon mail can now go on to Cain. So we are boosting up our character's equipment here, which I guess is helpful, isn't it? And now after that, we're going to... Just let me get my bearings first. Lots of doors here. We actually just need to head back to the door that we just came through into this area before we grab that chest. And in this area now we're going to head down the northernmost set of stairs that we neglected previously into the next area. Right, so back out into this area. Just make sure you keep mapping out the little bits of sections that you don't necessarily go to. And crud, I was just going to tell you, don't open this chest because the enemy encounter in it is absolutely really hard to kill, and we should have waited until the save point and then come back to it. Well, now hopefully I'm going to be able to actually take this guy out, and I'm going to have to explain to you how to do it. Oh boy, this red dragon. Right, with Rosa, you want to get berserk on this fella immediately, or it's going to just AoE you to death. And then start blinking people, basically, to keep them alive, or to give them a chance at staying alive. I don't think you can cast stop on this thing, unfortunately. We can try, but I get the feeling it's not going to happen. So let's get people resurrected here. Starting with Edge. Berserk is your friend because it's going to limit his casts down drastically. Yes, stop is useless. I thought it was. What is it I've just chose to cast? Blink. Let's get Blink going on Rosa then. In fact, let's get a couple of blinks going here. And on Rydia. Stay on top of that berserk status. Oh dear, and we'll summon Bahamut, of course. Let's hope we can get this blink off on Cecil in time, shall we? And let's get a Cura jar going as well. Does he survive? Yes, he does. We need to keep those blinks up basically. And that'll give us a good chance of survival. And keep those behemoths coming in because they're going to be our main source of damage. Let's go for another blink here onto edge this time. And does anybody else need blink? Yes, Cecil does. Goodbye, Kate. For now, he'll be back, don't worry. Attack. Arise on Kaney. And let's just get a Curagar going. Actually, let's get a haste going first. We can actually do multicast, but I just want to make use of these dual casts as well. There's actually an ability that we can try and cast on this fella, if need be. And it's called Hold. It might work. Not guaranteed, but it might. You can jump in the air, please, Kane. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. So, Hold is an ability that Rosa can cast. And it doesn't last as long as Stop. But it can help. Anyway, those crystal gloves, I'll just see how good they are for Cecil, but... yeah, because he's using the Protect Ring, we're not really going to want him to use those crystal gloves. So, Kane can't use them either. Which means that we do just need to basically do nothing with them. But at least we've got it, so we haven't got to backtrack to this bit later. Although, if you didn't open that chest, then you might not want to just yet until you've had the opportunity to save. Anyway, at this point we're going to head over to the west. There's quite a bit of areas we can map out here, so make sure you do. And after that, head through this door here. Whew, this is stressful, isn't it? Right, there's a chest we can grab. This chest contains the quite useful white robe. No surprises who that is going to be going to based on the name of it. To Rose, so we're going to go ahead and equip that. And then obviously nothing else we can do in this section. Apart from, of course, go for the exit. Okay, and we're back in the main B5 area. Just make sure you head south a little bit. And we're going to just go west for another chest. So hopefully the chest itself we can get to without any more enemies on the way. There is an enemy ambush, but the enemy itself isn't that challenging. It's basically a dino zombie. So just do as much damage as you can, really, is the order of the battle here. Go ahead and throw a Bahamut on it. In my opinion, these are easier than the other bone dragons that we've been fighting, that are the purple version of these. They do like to cast Curse, so I wouldn't heal those characters, really, unless you want to actually damage them. Scorch can be a little nasty. I don't know if Prey actually affects Curse. I'm just going to, test that out. Be a good bit of science for us to do, wouldn't it? No, apparently not. Anyway, that crystal helm that we've just looted is going to be going on to Cecil here. And the Dragon Helm is now going on to Kane, so we've got rid of all that Genji crud. And don't forget to heal up your party after that last battle. The curse status doesn't continue on after the battle. These are pretty easy as well. You should kill these far before the Doom counter actually goes off on the character that they cast it on. Unless you get unlucky with misses, I guess, which we seem to be happening here. But in all things considered, these are actually very easy. And we even got a paralyse off. Hopefully this round will do the job. Well, we would have probably killed this thing if we hadn't missed about 4 or 5 attacks already. Oh man. There it goes. That's really annoying. Get Cecil resurrected. Good old eyes there. And then we're going to head over to the east, of course. Make sure you map out the section that we don't actually have leading anywhere. Once you've explored the eastern section, head back and enter into this door here. Now there's 2 things to do in this room. There's only one, but we're going to do it at the moment though, and that is to grab this chest, which contains a red fang. The other thing you can do is use a siren to encounter 3 Flam Princesses as an encounter. And it's the only way you can encounter those enemies in the entire game. That's by being in this particular room and using the siren item. We're not going to do that at the moment. We're going to come back to that later. For now, just make sure you grab that chest, and then we're going to head back into the previous room and then head down the stairs to the south. And this will bring us into B6, and it's our first time in this area. So there's no new enemies that we need to talk about. It's just the same stuff that we've been fighting before. On both sides of where we've made our entrance here, there's a chest. On one side, a Fuma Shuriken, and in fact, there's one of those in the other chest as well. So there's the second Fuma Shuriken. Now we're going to head back down to the south. Once we've come down here, there's actually a ton of stuff over to the left-hand side, but before we do any of that, perhaps the most important thing on the right-hand side is to be found. So we're going to head down over towards the east. First of all, we do just need to map out this starting area, really. Once you've done that, grab the chest containing a cottage. And then we're going to head up the stairs here. It's already mapped out. There's a chest here containing quite a useless piece of equipment. It's guarded by, not the hardest fight, 2 of the maidens, along with the dark summoner thingy. That item is basically a physical melee item, but can only be equipped by the 2 female casters. So it's relatively pointless, isn't it? And here we are now in B7. We're going to start by just mapping out the areas we head south. Yada yada yada. And we're looking for a flight of stairs. There they are. I just realised I did screw up in the battle earlier. I keep forgetting about the Omni casting augment we've given Rosa, which is pretty annoying. So don't forget haste and blink and that you can now cast on AoE targets. Such as this example here. First I used dual casting to advise on Cecil, and then we'll haste everyone. So we need to get into the habit of using that more. But I did just want to mention that because no doubt there would be people complaining in the comments. Getting some nice levels now, which is what we need in all honesty. So head up this first set of stairs, and look what we see! Oh, it's a save point. But before we even touch the save point, we're just going to go ahead and grab the cottage. No surprises that they put that there in order for us to use here at this save point. But strangely, I've been keeping on top of my MP levels. Look at this. They're not too shabby, are they? I'm going to use it just because, you know, I guess we can still max out what isn't maxed out, but I'm quite proud of that. And I've hardly been using any ethers or dry ethers. In fact, I've used none whatsoever throughout this episode. Still 40 cottages. I think we can spare one now, can't we? Okay, folks, so we've actually got some boss battles coming up, which means that I am going to go ahead and finish off here for today, so I can go and get a well-earned rest, I think. But thanks for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Let's go ahead and save. Wow, and now and 15 minutes ago was my last save game. So, it's pretty mean putting a save point this far in, isn't it? But at least, you know, we've done it, we've got it, we've saved now, so... thanks for joining me today, folks. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, don't forget to let me know in the comments section. Come back soon and we'll crack on with more of the game. Cheers all, take care.